Well, first, thank you for having me. My name's Ashley Tresoline. I own Bella Foodie, and I am 37 years old.
Where
And
did the story begin?
I'm actually in Massachusetts, and so we are very far apart. But I I got sick my last years in high school and my first years in college, and I didn't really know what was going on with me. I saw many doctors, more than I think I can count, and a few of them told me it was in my head, and I kept fighting and telling them there was something wrong with me. And by the time I was 21, I had been sick for years, and so many things had happened to me in and out of the hospital stays, and they finally diagnosed me with MS. Well, when I finally got my diagnosis, I decided that I was going to learn everything I can. I was fed up with spending all that time in the hospital. I was fed up with doctors trying to get the right medications and feeling like a science experiment, feeling like I was getting poked and prodded for whatever reason I couldn't tell. So I love to cook. I come from a huge Italian family on both sides of my family. I am not anything else but Italian American. And we cook, and my family has you cook with them. I think it was a way to keep us out of trouble as kids so we didn't break the antiques in the house. So I grew up cooking, and I always loved cooking. But when I got sick, I started to learn what the food could do for your body. Not just something to enjoy and eat, but something you can enjoy, make it help you feel good. You can enjoy healthy food, you can have a great time with healthy food, you can still have that community around food, but you need to make sure that what you're putting in your body is working for you. Yes, we all want our ice cream and we all want to have like our treats. That's okay too, and that extra glass of wine is all right too every once in a while. But food can be medicine just as much as it can be nutritious and fun. So after all these years, I was in and out of a few jobs after I graduated college. I worked at marketing and finance. I substitute taught. I worked at a preschool, which I can teach cooking, but I am not a teacher. God bless all the teachers this year. They've had quite the year. But I've decided that at 29 that I wanted to open my own business. I wanted to share my knowledge with other people. I wanted to help other people like me, or people that just want to take a step on their health journey, so that I could share my knowledge. I've taken every seminar, class, anything I can get my hand on, read books. I am self-taught, but I enjoy what I do, and I will help you in any way I can. And I always do advise that you always talk to a doctor, a nutritionist, somebody that has your best medical needs. But I want to make you love food just as much as I do.
I love your attitude towards your illness. You know, a lot of people get these diagnoses, they fall straight into the fact that they're ill, there's nothing else I can do. But you sound to me like the kind of woman who's just decided that, okay, this is where I'm at. I can still live a healthy, happy life, but you're empowering other people to do the same, which is quite fascinating. And I just love that. You know, when I read your profile, I thought to myself, this is a woman close to my heart, because I'm actually recovering from heart failure. And I came to realize that you're right. Your food is your medicine. And now I'm so conscious about what goes in my mouth, whereas before I got ill, I was just eating everything and everything. So
Yeah.
if you could talk to somebody who's just been diagnosed with MS right now, you knew something was wrong, right?
I did. I kept telling doctors that I couldn't put my finger on it, but I knew it was medical. I knew it wasn't some sort of like conversion reaction. I knew it wasn't depression. I knew it wasn't in my head. I mean, after seeing a bunch of doctors, yeah, I was starting to get a little depressed and anxious about everything because I kept fighting. And as an 18, 19-year-old girl, I was not as outspoken, I guess, as I am now. I didn't fight for myself as much as I would have now. now, like, you know, I go to see the doctors, and I just had my checkup last week, but, you know, now, like, when they go to take blood, I know that I have terribly small veins, and to ask for the little needle for them to take it, I know to talk, you need to learn to speak up. If something hurts, if you know in your heart that something's wrong, no one knows your body more than you do. You can feel what's going on inside that nobody else can, even if they keep telling you that there isn't something wrong. I mean, I saw some world-class specialist in Boston, and the guy basically told me I was depressed and that there was nothing wrong with me.
You know, I love the fact that you trusted your intuition. So tell me, what were the symptoms? I'm hoping
So
that
the
somebody right now who's listening to us is not feeling well, isn't sure how to put their finger on it. What were the symptoms for you?
So with MS, it's what my doctor calls a snowflake disease. There are a lot of the similar symptoms, but what your first inciting incident is, it may be different. There's also 4 types of MS. I have what they call relapsing remitting MS. So I live with some symptoms every day, but then I go through periods of bad times, which they call exacerbations. What happened to me the first time was I lost the use of my legs. I woke up one morning and they were just completely numb. And I spent 4 days in the adolescent ward at our local hospital.
Wow. Wow. So just one day you're fine, the next day you've lost the function of your legs.
Yeah,
And then what happened after that?
a lot of tests, a lot of doctors, a lot of people telling me this or that. It took a good 2.5, 3 years before they actually got it right. And in and out of college and school and all kinds of things before it was right. I was in a lot of pain too, which they couldn't figure out where the pain was coming from because it's nerve pain. My body is literally, if you think of a wire and you know how there's like the plastic coating on the outside of a wire, well, the nerves have like a coating. MS patients, our body is literally eating that coating, like exposing a raw wire. And because of that pain, I was in pain. I've lost sight in my right eye. They didn't treat it soon enough, so I probably would have gotten more sight back, but it happened several times before they could give me a diagnosis and before they treated it because the doctor I was seeing he didn't quite have the bedside manner that the wonderful doctor I have now did. And I don't know if he actually believed me. I've had a few spinal taps too. That was unpleasant.
Wow. So if you were to go back to the younger you, that young woman who was going through all of this stuff, and give her 3 nuggets of advice, what would you say to her?
I'd probably yell at her to speak up more and to know that it gets better. I want to remind her that things do get better and that just because they tell you that it's a disability or that, you know, your future may not look the way you had planned, because I had already done that. You know, you graduate high school and they tell you to plan your 5-year plan. Well, it went out the window when I got sick. What my plans weren't the same. I want to tell them that you can make a new plan at any point in life. You know, I recalibrated a few times before I found what I loved and what I could do, what I'm good at.
Wow. Wow. Your story is inspiring. Your
Thank you.
story is inspiring. So let's launch now into this new business venture you've gone into. It's so exciting. I am a serial social entrepreneur. I've created businesses out of problems. I create businesses to empower other people. What is your vision? What is your mission around this new business venture?
So we help people. I'm technically a personal chef. I do cook for clients that need help and I make prepared meals. I believe that organic food is a wonderful thing, or if you can't do organic, to buy local. I educate people about what food does for them and their body. Like if you have health problems, like you said, your heart, I would work with you about maybe making meals for you for the week or creating a meal plan so that you had it in like a grocery list so that you could take a look at it and be like, okay, Because when people first get sick and they have to change their diets, it is the most overwhelming thing in the world. They literally stand in the middle of the supermarket going, what do I do? Like, is this what I need? And labeling, I don't know what it is where you are, but in the US, you know, you can have deceptive marketing and labeling, and some things aren't regulated by the FDA for us. So like you can have the word natural and people will think that, hey, guess what? It's healthy because it says natural, and it's not an FDA or regulated marketing term.
Wow.
I also tell them to read labels, because if it sounds like a cleaning supply in the ingredient list, you probably shouldn't be eating it.
I love that.
Yeah, we all know what we're talking about. Yeah. All those things we ate as kids that we thought were so good, and, you know, we crave when like something, but, you know, they have lists about this big on the package, and it's for something that shouldn't be tasting that way. And, or they have chemical words that are this big, and all that is for GMOs. Food is medicine. I believe we need to be healthy from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
So I teach, I educate by teaching seminars and workshops at local colleges. I teach cooking classes, which I've been doing on Zoom, from ages 4 to 100. Anybody that wants to participate, we can. I've even used my cooking classes to raise money for some local charities.
That is just absolutely wonderful. And it's so good that you're doing it online, especially now people can still get access to you, right?
Yeah, and it's actually really fun, because it's even more fun because everyone's in their own kitchen.
Yes.
So, you know, there's life happening around everyone, so we just can't stop that. So, you know, the dog's barking, or whose husband walks in and says hi while we're like doing a cooking class or something, or the kids that want to try everything and talk to me while, you know, mom's getting something. It's really cute. It makes it more like real life, and it actually makes it easier for them to prepare and feel more confident because they're preparing it in their own kitchen.
Yeah, that is wonderful. Well, listen, I really have to thank you for coming online and sharing this with us today. I'm going to finish with one last question.
Okay.
If I was to teleport you into your future, to the 100-year-old you, you're eating so healthy, you'll probably live until you're 120, and you could have a conversation with the older you know, based on how you're living your life right now, what would you say to that woman sitting in a rocking chair? Maybe you've had a couple of kids, you've got some grandchildren, great grandchildren. What would you say to the older you?
Oh boy, from me now to the older me, I would probably ask her if I figured out that work-life balance and figured out how to have more fun. And if the way that I'm living now is what kept me going to that age.
I love that.
I'm wondering if she learned some tricks along the way that I maybe could put into use now.
That is just awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I do that a lot in meditation. I believe that time is an illusion, that you can teleport into the future you, the successful you, and ask her, how did we do it? And so sometimes what happens to me is I'll be working on a certain problem, and then I'll have a dream. So most of my stuff percolates through my dreams. And I figure it out because I believe that your subconscious mind doesn't stop working things out, and that I've already done what I'm trying to achieve now in the future. So I talk to her. I talk to her all the time. So that's a little trick for you and for everybody else.
I've been working on that meditation thing. I am not quite that where I can get into a trance yet, but I'm still working on it.
Keep at it. It works when you still the little monkey brain. We are born with all the answers that we need to solve the problems in our lives. And we're born with all the gifts as well. So you came into this world with your little fingers clutched, holding those gifts, and now you're just unleashing them. My grandmother used to say that most people go to their graves like this. They hold on to their gifts. They never share them with the world.
Oh, wow.
So kudos to you for doing what you're doing. You have it, it's in you. And I'm excited that I've met you, and I'm now part of your journey and you're part of mine.
Thank you for having me, and it was so nice to meet you.
Absolute pleasure. And thank you to everybody who tuned in today. This is Gertrude Mache in beautiful Wellington, New Zealand. As you can see, I am on fire. I have just met some of the most phenomenal women on the planet. Come back again tomorrow when I interview somebody in a completely different part of the world. But have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world right now. Bye for now.